Manic, pertaining to or affected by excessive excitement or enthusiasm, praise.
Welcome back. It is another week. We needed to take our break last week for those kids go back to school. That was a beast in itself.
Yes.
We're back. We are caffeinated and we are ready to go.
This is a change for me. Typically, I'm drinking wine, but because we're recording in the morning,
Yeah.
I'm drinking coffee.
And it's like a Sunday.
You're about to get all the energy, okay?
I like how I said it's a Sunday, like I care at all.
Right, no doubt. So today we're going to talk about vision. And I am in this leadership class right now that I'm doing once a month, and I'm learning a lot, and I absolutely love it. But last week I was super into it because we talked about the vision. And if you know me, you know I'm all about the vision.
That's like your jam.
That's my jam. Is that your stomach?
No, it was, this cord
I
keeps
was
scraping on me.
It's very hungry.
It probably will keep going though, because I had a bite of KJ's Cinnabon and now my body's mad at me.
Oh, okay. Lovely. So we're going to talk about the vision, and I don't want anybody to get confused because the goal and the vision is different. They're two separate things. And sometimes I think that those get intertwined. And they should, but they get intertwined in a way that you're not able to isolate and separate them. Your goal should be short term. You know, whether it's a 12-day goal, a 12-month goal, a 12-year goal, that should be different than the vision. The vision is a lifetime. The vision is to me is unending. It never ends. It's as soon as you feel like that vision is completed, or if you feel like your vision was done, it was never big enough.
Yeah, it's a lifetime goal.
It's
your legacy.
It's your legacy. Absolutely.
Do you ever hear that like thing that the eyebrow tech says at the nail salon? She's like, they're sisters, not twins. That's how you should look at your vision and your goal. They're parallel.
Yes.
They're not the same.
They're not the same. No, they're not. So, to start this off with, I really wanted to talk about the difference between the goal and the vision. The vision is a dream with a plan. Okay. It's kind of like having this, I always try to tell people, like, the goal without action is nothing. It's a wish, right? You don't wish for the goal. We don't wish for the vision. The vision is the overall of how you see your life. The goal to me is the action that I put into place to create the vision.
Yeah, to get there.
Yes. I believe the plan is a goal through the short-term things that you put into place to achieve the vision. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, one of the big things for me, and I think that for you too, is, are you sharing your vision? Do you share your vision with people?
I think it took me a long time to figure out what my vision was. I think there's a lot of like false visions that you get, and you're younger, and if your drive in life is to just have money, like, that's not enough. Why do you want money? If you want money so that you can travel and provide for your family and never have to want and not have to stop and budget and just say like, hey, I want to do this today, we're going to do it. Hey, my kid wants to go here, we're going to go here. Then that's okay. But if your goal is just to make money and dollar signs everywhere, that's not the thing.
No, it can. Money can be a driving force because it's energy, but it can't be the driving force of your whole life. It can't be the driving force of all things, right? There's got to be something else that wakes you up in the morning, other than dollar signs. Now, I know that's helpful. It's helpful, and it has to do a lot with life and achievements and things like that. But my vision has never been based around money. But I am very in touch with what I want for my life, what I want my legacy to be, what I want my vision to be, the plan, the goals, all of that has been intertwined together, and they're in alignment together. And those are not the things, the sole thing that gets me up in the morning is not money. Obviously I want to pay my bills and I want to live a nice life, but it's not the thing that wakes me up every day. I can truly say that.
Financial freedom is a pillar of my vision because I need that to do the things that I want to achieve. And I don't just mean, I mean more than like, hey, pay the bills. Hey, I want to be able to go to fancy dinners. I want to be like, I showed my kids the world while I was young enough to enjoy it and walk around and see those things. And like, I need that financial freedom to be able to do that. And if I'm not hitting my goals that get me towards that vision, I'm not going to have the financial freedom to say, hey, let's pick up because we have an opportunity to go to Europe. Hey, let's pick up because there's a cruise coming up. Like, I'm not going to be able to do those things. So why it's not the factor, it's definitely a foundation of that vision because it's what's helping me propel to get to that.
Right. 100%. And I think that your vision cannot be the same as someone else's. Like you and I, we are yin and yang. My vision is not the same as yours.
Yeah.
Your vision is not the same as mine. Now, do they kind of coincide a little bit? Like, do we like to travel? Yes. Do you want to see Greece and I want to go to Thailand? Yes. Like those things, we have the same things, but we don't have the same exact vision, right? We
And if we
want to
do,
be
we have
successful.
different reasons for
Right.
it.
Yeah. And I feel like we're not, our success is different, but we both want to see each other be successful. So I think that's huge in who you put around you as well. If you're not putting people in your circle at your table or around you that match your craziness, match your energy, match that vision, then you're sitting at the wrong table with the wrong kind of people.
At the very least, they should be excited for you to achieve those things and get the hell out of your way to allow you to do them, which is what they should expect from their people as well.
And I don't even think it's getting out of the way. I truly believe in you should be putting your hand out to how can I help you? You should be lifting those people up to you. The greatest success that you could ever have in your life, that I believe that you can have in life, is helping others become just as successful, if not more than you are. That will be my greatest success, will be helping other people achieve their vision and their goals. And I 100% believe my legacy is helping other people grow their businesses and reach a pivotal moment in their life that they did not think that they could have. So I do believe that will be my legacy.
Well, I think if it's important to make sure the only thing that people are not focusing on is obstacles, because sometimes you have to help somebody realize that a vision is achievable and there's a path. And I think if your vision board is something that you feel and everything on it is going to take you 5 to 10 years to accomplish, in the meantime, you're sitting on the couch staring at a picture of a mansion and a Range Rover, that's going to feel impossible and unachievable.
Right.
And if you just focus on obstacles, all you'll see is obstacles. So sometimes helping somebody is as simple as letting them know that they can open that door and make that goal for themselves, and how to find obtainable, realistic goals that are on a timetable that actually help you go towards the vision and not away from it.
Well, we talked a little bit about this in that class as well, like how to essentially achieve the vision or get to the vision or find out what the vision is. And I have wrote down some things on how to get to the vision that I think will help people.
I'm ready.
And I do believe that you can listen to this all day long. But if you do not write down your vision, tell somebody your vision, or share it, or put it on your vision board,
Or believe it.
you will not achieve it. You know what? You don't even have to believe it. But if you are not taking small actions toward that so-called vision, you will not achieve it. So you can, it's just like a dream,
Yeah.
right? Dream about it, dream about it, dream about it, do nothing about it. The goals are the actions that you're going to put into place to create the vision. So you just have to keep remembering that. I don't per se, I want to say a goal board. I have a goal list. I have a day-to-day list that I keep. That is my goal for the day or the week or the month to
So is that like a
achieve.
healthy mix of immediate and future? Like, do you have things like maybe like a year, 5 years out? Like, do you have
Yes.
it structured for like, this is this year, I know that's a future goal?
Yeah. The things that I do this year, today, tomorrow are the things that I have to do.
It's my stomach again.
Not your stomach. Those things that I have to do for the future of the vision. So I know that I have to do X, Y, and Z today in order to achieve the goal for next week. And that goal for next week is the benchmark that I will need for the following month or the month after.
It's kind of stepping stones.
It's all stepping stones. So let's just say we're doing these investment properties together, flips and stuff. So let's start with there. First off, I had to have it on my vision board that I wanted to have investment properties. That was on my vision board the last 2 years. So I start with the vision board. Now I got to have the goal to reach that. So what do I have to do? I have to map this out. I need to find a house that I can flip. I need to find a lender that will lend me money. I need to figure out how I'm getting the down payment. Then I'm going to do all that. Now I have to put into place the LLC or the S Corp that goes along with that. I got to find the insurance to go along with it. I need to interview the contractors that I want to use. Now I have to figure out how long do I need to have it with me in order to get it back on the market to make this profit, right? All these things now I have to have a spreadsheet. I have to align myself with people that even if I can't do it personally, they can do it too. I have to share that with my closest friend in order to bring her along with me, because being at the top is not fun by yourself. It is not.
Who would have ordered you pink hard hats if I wasn't there?
That's true. For $67. Good Lord.
Hey, my vision.
Right.
It's
Right.
my HDTV, so I'm going to need the hard hat.
And you have that vision. If that's your vision, what are the goals that you're putting in place to make that happen, right? You don't want to be on HGTV by yourself.
Yeah.
You want to bring somebody with you who it's fun doing it with. Like, who wouldn't want me and a freaking retainer with a lisp?
Right.
Come on now.
Farting along the way.
Yeah, right?
Sampling every bathroom at every
But
flip.
have you put that on? I would love to see that on your vision board.
Well, let
and
me
I would
tell
love
you,
to
it's
know the
not
goals.
Only because I like to keep it, after I just announced it on the podcast, I like to keep certain things locked down,
Right.
safe. But I'm very aware of
You know what the
things,
difference
taking
is,
steps
though,
to get there.
between you and the others? You say that you want to keep it safe and locked down and you want to keep it a secret. They do not have the drive that you have to put those things in place. They do not have the actions to do it. There is a very small percent. There is 3%. I'm actually going to tell you this right now. They did a study at Harvard. 3% of people who wrote down their vision and executed it with goals, 20 years later, that 3% who did it in that exercise actually achieved what they did. I know wholeheartedly, without a shadow of doubt, that when I put something on paper and I become hyper-focused, manically obsessed, I will achieve those goals.
Yeah.
Now I'm like thinking future, right? So like if your goal is to have that HGTV show, I know you'll do it 100% if you do those action plans.
And it's okay for people to like kind of taunt you, right? And kind of ridicule you along the way. Because most people don't use their imagination constructively. They use it deconstructively. And people can have their things to say about, oh, she's so silly with her social media. Oh, it's annoying when she wants to stop and do the pictures and stuff. Honey, I've got goals, and your opinion of however silly or ridiculous they are not going to stand in my way. And the only thing that you're going to have to say 10 years down the road is, oh, I guess all of those things kind of made sense because look, it got her where she wanted to go.
Right. Right. And I think that, have you ever heard that saying like, where's your show at? Why aren't you famous yet? Why don't you have this yet? You talk about it because you didn't support me. Right? So
You guys would be so funny.
Yeah.
Try liking a video. You know the one you just lectured us about that you thought was hilarious? You didn't like it.
You didn't? Oh God, don't even get me going. It's grinding my gears right now. But yeah, you're exactly right. Hey, did you see our video? I did.
I laughed.
Do you think it was
for
funny? I
hours.
laughed for hours.
watched
Cool,
it
because you
over
didn't
and
like
over.
it. You didn't share it. You didn't comment on it. Like
Yeah,
those
nothing.
things are free.
Yeah.
Those things cost you no dollars to help your friends achieve their vision.
Yeah.
If you don't want to help them achieve their vision, like cut them loose.
Yeah. I am very intentional, especially ever since we started this kind of goal of being really good about our social media and making kind of a footprint in that way. I try to be very conscious of like, if I'm just scrolling my For You page on TikTok and somebody makes me laugh and I keep scrolling, I will be like, oh, no, I'm going to go back. I'm going to like it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to save it because like I enjoyed it. Why am I not giving that person that little bit of credit
Yeah.
of recognition that like I enjoyed that video. And if I use a sound and stuff, I tag that person. I try to be very good about it because it's like they don't get anything out of it, and not more people get to see it if you don't respond and react with it.
100%. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how do you find your vision? What do we do to get our vision? And so some of the things is, I believe, a life list. And we talked about this in that leadership class. And I think that a life list is important. And my whole entire family is sitting down to do this. So if you'd like a copy of this life list of how to do the exercise, I think it's great for the kids. It's great for everybody. And the life list is important because have you ever like sat with like your spouse and been like, oh, we're going to do this, 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 and this. And then like you keep talking about it, and over 5 years, you're like, you never went and did any of that.
The trip never made it out of the chat.
No. And I hate that.
Yeah.
You know me very
Yeah.
well. Like I don't like not executing things that we talk about.
I get very like laser, and if I'm like, this is what we're doing, like I want to do it, I can't stop doing it. Like I lose sleep. I will not sleep. I'll get up and be taking notes. Like I can't not think about it.
Absolutely. 100%. So the life list is to do 25 things to do or more, doesn't matter. To have 25 things or more to have
For like your lifetime.
your lifetime.
Okay.
And they can change. They're always changing. You're
evolve.
growing. They're evolving, things like that. Sometimes you might like maybe 2 years down the road, you're going to look and be like, why did I pick that? I don't like
bucket
that.
list type thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So it's to do, to have, to be or to become, and to give.
I like the to be or to become. That's a good category.
Yeah. Do you want to become a entrepreneur? Do you want to become a better mother? Do you want to become a better friend? What do you want to become as you evolve? To give, I think, is so important. I think that it doesn't have to be a financial give. To give more freely to your spouse, to give to the homeless, to give to your church, to give to whatever it is to give, you need to be serving. You need to be of service in some way. I feel like I give myself a lot as a leader. I want to be a better leader. And the only way I can become a better leader is to give more. And so when I'm asked to speak on a panel, or I'm asked to, sit down with a small group of people and share my success story with them, or what that might look like, I use that opportunity to give back. That's my way to give back to people, especially to give back to the underdog. I don't ever want anybody to ever feel like they're not worthy. And I use myself as the temple, the body, to share with people who feel like they are not worthy, to show them that you are 100% worthy of success and greatness, and to have a better life.
And I feel like people need to get out of their head too. If it's something as simple as like maybe doing like a food kitchen on a holiday or something, like sometimes that can feel icky, right? Sometimes you almost feel silly putting yourself in that situation. Like, I feel like I'm being a certain way, just standing here trying to be like, I'm going to serve these people. Like, get out of your head about it.
Yeah.
Because every time you do something you don't want to do, you grow and you learn from it. And I guarantee if you go there, the sheer gratitude, like of anything, of going to help like a shelter, anything like that, a school, a staff, something like that, you're going to get so much out of it. That's not financial, that maybe necessarily doesn't help you with your goals, but it helps you remember your why, remember your vision, and inspire people to find theirs.
Absolutely. 100%. So I encourage everyone to do this life list, and I think it will help you with your vision. While you're creating this life list, it can be that to have, to do, to give, to become, that all those things should go on your vision board. Pick 3 things from each list and put it on your vision board. Then set a goal around it and execute it.
And it could be something that stays on your vision board.
Yeah.
It could be a lifetime vision thing that you update every year and you update the board.
So I have that. I have like 2 or 3 things that every year, like they go back on my board, because those visions will be there probably for most of my life, because in some capacity I am executing those visions, but I'm not, because they're lifetime visions. They're something that I want to achieve over and over, better and better, and bigger every time.
Like to give, that's something that's going to stay on there every year, right?
Yeah.
But you're updating what you're doing to give. Maybe you have like the podcast. First, the year was to get it, to get it established. The next year is to grow it. The next year is to make it whatever. So you can have those things and adapt them. They don't necessarily have to be like, well, I did it. It's done. Never thinking about it again.
Right.
Like, we got a podcast next year. We're just going to not talk about the podcast. Like, no, of course. It's going to turn into something else. It's going to morph into the next thing.
Like you said, the vision of the podcast was on my vision board. It's off now. It's not off. It's still on there, but it's like something I got it. Right. Yeah. So like you said, now maybe it's being sponsored and being on more platforms with it.
It's having a pink couch.
Yeah. We need a pink couch, guys. We need a pink couch.
We need to be guest ready.
Are we really trending in Australia? Because if we are, can
We are.
anybody in Australia like tag us and be like, hey, yo?
Yeah. Was that your Australian accent?
No, how would that be?
I don't know.
No, I'm not watching it. I'm
Margot
not going
Robbie.
to. No, I'm not going to like diminish the people who actually support us. Okay,
Offend a
'Cause-
whole people.
yeah, not happening
Don't
for
do
me. But so hopefully that helps a lot of people, and really just starting the vision, because I feel like a lot of people have a hard time. I don't know, when you're like, I don't really know what my vision is, or I don't really know what my goal is.
It's
or anything
okay.
like
It's
that.
just like not knowing what you want to do till you grow up, or, what you want to do when you grow up until you grow up.
Right.
Well, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't find a career that made me happy and content until my 30s.
Right.
Like, it's okay to not know, and it's an ever adapting thing. You could start off in your 20s, I want a family. I want to be able to travel. I want to be an entrepreneur. You're 25, that looks like I want my small business to be a top producing company. I'm trying to have my first kid. We have a trip planned where we will take said kid when he's born.
Right.
We have a baby moon planned. That's going to evolve the older you get, the more you grow, the bigger your circle gets, the bigger your family gets. That is an ever changing thing. So just get out of your way, get out of your head, and just write it down.
Absolutely. 100%.
Start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. And I think the biggest thing to start is like having this life list is the number one way to start it. And to really sit down and think about it. Sit quietly and just really think about it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be the weirdest things to have. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those are the hardest ones because you feel a bit selfish to have.
Yeah.
But if you don't write them down, you will never, ever start this vision. And you have to share it with other people. Like for me as a team leader, I have to share my personal vision along with my team vision, and they have to align not only with my personal vision, the team vision, but they have to align somewhat in what my team's visions are, like the individual person on that team.
Well, it's so intertwined too.
It has to be. Mm-hmm. It has to be, because even though they might not be the same, they need to be on the same course. They need to be heading in the same direction.
Yeah.
If I have someone on my team that's like, I don't really want to be a top producer, we are not in alignment.
We're not. It's not a fit.
Yes, this is a hobby. It's wrong team for you. Mm-hmm. This is not a hobby. This is not a part-time thing. This is definitely, you need to be on this team and want to be successful, want your teammates to be successful. You have to be a boss-ass entrepreneur bitch.
Mm-hmm. And to that aspect, like the other fair part of that, right? If you're not, that's okay.
Yeah.
But then everyone acknowledge it and move in a direction that makes your list propel up. And no one gets to tell you what's realistic or what makes sense. Somebody might come on and want to be on the team, and then when they sit and talk to you, they're like, you're nuts. I don't want to operate at this. I can't. It's not sustainable
If
for me.
people don't tell you you're crazy, your vision is not big enough.
Listen, you have to be a little bit crazy to have such blind faith in something you can't see, okay? And you also have to stop expecting people to believe in a vision that they can't see, because it's yours for a reason. It's not theirs. And they can support you. It's even okay for them to support you blindly. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how you don't sleep and you do this and that, but I'm here for you. I'm going to clap for you. Like, that's okay. It's also okay to just be like, hey, this is not a fit. I can't run at the speed you run. I'm not interested in it. You stress me out. It's a no for me. Like, all those things are okay. But if you're not honest with yourself and the people around you, you're never going to be in a room that helps you get where you want to go.
100%. And I think you need to level up that room.
Mm-hmm.
If that room's vision, or those people that are at your table, if their visions and their dreams don't scare you a little bit, those probably aren't the right people around you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to not wanting to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
How boring is that?
Right.
You want to be around the people that inspire you to be better, and you should be inspiring
this
people to be better.
leadership group that I'm in, CFO, vice president, president, attorney. Like, I question why I'm in it. I'm looking around.
But you know what? They don't.
They don't. And you know, it's funny because I talked about that. And I was like, I question a lot of times why I'm in a room like this. Mm-hmm. But I know. Mm-hmm. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I work harder than anybody in this room. And I don't care if that offends you. Mm-hmm. I know that you know that about me. And I am so grateful that they know that about me. But now I want to stay up 72 hours to work. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, my benchmarks are never met. Mm-hmm. And I elevate that benchmark for myself every day.
But you know what? That's a great room. And I happen to know some of the people in that room, so I can speak on it. I feel like it's a great room for you to be in because those are not people that are threatened by you.
No.
Those are people that are well aware that maybe on paper they're elevated past a certain point than you right now, right? Mm-hmm. But they're also people that are so in awe of the way that you're willing to crawl your freaking way up to there that they can't help but have you in that room. And it's such a good room because no one's judging you for it. No one's like got that, oh, it's a young girl thing. No one's got that, oh, you know, she's pretty, she dresses nice thing. It's just sheer respect and like admiration for what you do. And the invite to the room was so genuine. Like, I love that.
I do too. I absolutely love it. I am the youngest one in that room too. But
a lot of that we're young and like I always feel so gross saying this, but like we're the young pretty people, you know, like ew, bleh. But like that's not really how we perceive ourselves. It's sometimes how we're perceived, and most of the time, especially from other women, it's in a negative light.
100%.
And I hate that. So it's really, you're extra appreciative when you're aware that that's not the read in the room.
Well, that, and not only being the younger one in the room. I'm not going to say the younger pretty one because there was a lot of pretty women in that room.
Well, yeah, of course.
But being the younger, what you're talking about, mm-hmm. it's also a very male dominant room. Mm-hmm. Everyone that I mentioned, mm-hmm. outside of the one broker that was in there, are male. Mm-hmm. Male president, male VP, male CFO, mm-hmm. male...
Oh, shocking turn of events.
Male developer, like personal development leader.
Yeah.
There's a male, like, lender who's pretty successful in the industry. And then there was a woman broker. Mm-hmm. And then outside of her, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, and then 2 other men. So it's just a very male dominant, and that's not fair.
The whole industry is, I feel like.
The whole industry is, and mm-hmm. that's not really fair to them because it's not to slight them at all.
No. The men that are in those positions, number one, they've earned it, right? It's not just things they were handed to, but they're very in tune and aware of younger generations coming up, females coming up, and I have never felt like a disrespect because I'm a woman or because I
Absolutely
had the audacity to be successful in a male-dominated field. So I feel like we're very lucky in a time and a place and with people that are in tune with that.
Do you know, one of the things that scare me the most is, and this is just a weird back brain thought, I wonder sometimes if my team, my individual self is too successful, will that limit the growth that I want to have within the company? I question that sometimes.
We always have to worry because there's always going to be people that are like, you make enough money. You have enough.
Well, that or...
You have enough success.
Developing her beyond this would be hurtful to the company because she produces so much. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a thing, but I think it in my mind.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a thought you're going to have as a leader and as somebody that's on the success ladder, right? And rising. It's natural to have that. But again, I feel like we're surrounded with really good people that they don't really take that in consideration, I feel like. Yeah. Just by some of the conversations you've had already, I feel like people are more inclined to help you succeed, whether it benefits or not. It's not going to hurt, right? It's not going to hurt the company, but like, hey, we'd make more money if she stays where she's at.
That's scary to me.
I don't think that's
thought
happening.
That you just had right mm-hmm. there. Well, I wouldn't at all. I mean, I would not allow that to happen to my life.
Yeah.
I would 100% see that, and mm-hmm. I would act accordingly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just
And I
would.
feel like it's not. I feel like you had conversations, you've had interactions that, at least from what I can tell from looking on the outside in, that's not occurring, which I
Right.
love.
Right.
Because
No, I
they
agree.
just generally want to help you succeed, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah. I love that. I love it.
But I think people need to be obsessed with the grind. Figure out what sparks your fire, what you're halfway good at, and get it moving, honey.
Well, that's all goes back to the manic mindset. I'm so manic about what I do on a day-to-day basis. It is the thing that is driving. It's a driving force that I know now that my visions are achievable. They're crazy. They're hard. They seem unreachable, but I believe in them, and I believe in them because I believe in myself, and I know that I'm willing to do the things that I need to do to execute the vision. I'm willing to create the goals that I need in place in order to succeed in the vision. And that's the first step, writing down the vision, creating the goals around the vision, and then executing them, actually getting up for them. You can pray all day, you can wish all day, but if you are not doing the things that need to be put in place in order to execute the vision, then it's just a dream.
It's not going to be dropped in your lap randomly. You're not just going to wake up and be like, oh my God, I won the lottery.
You know, like people praying for like to be a millionaire, stop that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Pray for the strength to get you through the day that you need to get through in order to execute the vision of a millionaire.
Do all the things necessary so that if you happen to win the lottery tomorrow, it's just a cool perk.
Yeah.
Like
If
that
I
should
win
not
the
be the make
lottery
or break.
tomorrow, I crack up because every time me and my husband talk about like if we win the lottery, which first of all you have to play to win.
God, you guys are probably so responsible with what you would do if you won the lottery. Like,
He's not. I am.
We do a lot.
He was like,
live in a tiny
"Yay."
home.
He was like, well, he was very much like, we're gonna retire. We're gonna like fish every day, live on the island in a tiny home. I'm like, no.
Hard pass.
And he was like, what? And I'm like, if I'm a millionaire, I'm wondering how I'm gonna become a billionaire now. I want to know what I have to do with that money to make my family a legacy of like the wealth that you can't even freaking imagine. See,
Yeah.
I am not a small-minded thinker at all. If I win the lottery, I guarantee you I'm going to put the people around me and the things around me to make myself a billionaire. There is no sleep for me now.
But that's how it should be. Like, I am aware that if I want to, like, I don't, but let's say my goal was to be a talk show host, right? At the
mean,
tender
why
age
not?
of freaking 36,
Why
like,
not?
let's just say.
Why not?
So, I mean, hey, why not? If you're listening, anyone, I'm open to it. But I'm just saying, like, let's say that's a pie in the sky thing, right?
Maybe it's a late night show though.
Oh, much better. Much better. I like it. Because then
Yeah.
I can have my explicit little E on there. Put your kids to bed. This ain't for them.
Yeah.
But no, let's say that's a goal. Right now, as a girl that records her podcast in her guest bedroom, right? It's not a thing, okay? But if I were to somehow win the lottery tomorrow and I now am a millionaire, my goal is then I am very aware of the rooms I need to be in to make certain things happen. I am aware that relationships are important. If I now have money and I can put myself in certain situations and in certain rooms and in certain places, I now have the tools to accomplish something that sounds really silly, right? So there is no goal that is unachievable. I mean, unless you were like, hey, I'm suddenly going to be a pro athlete. It ain't happening. But if there are things
I
that
truly
don't
believe that
require
if I
natural
put
skill,
if I put my head down today and I said I was going to be a certain kind of athlete for a certain kind of thing,
knew you were
I
gonna say that.
100% believe that I would do it.
let's take a poll.
These knees need some shots in them, you know, because they snap, crackle,
Let me
pop.
tell you, after dancing with you at the club, okay?
Yeah,
The way
you
that
believe
your
it too,
knees
don't you?
work? No, honey, I don't. Maybe you, not me.
No, you believe that I would be an athlete.
Oh, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
The fact that I could get low and not get back up, I know that that's not achievable for me, okay? The way that these knees were snap, crackle, and popping on the way down to get low, no, it's not
I was
for
cracking
me.
up because there was like this guy who posted the other day that he was like a master. What was it? A master mariner, something like that. Whatever it was that he got, the booklet looked like a passport. I'm like, is this like an ocean passport? And he put on there, this is like the hardest thing I've ever had to get. And I was like, how do I get it? I didn't even know what it was.
But I want it.
I want it. I'm like the Kim Kardashian of like, how do I become a real estate attorney? What do I have to do?
I feel
right?
like
I'm
that's
that
such
person.
a fun personality though. Like, well, it's funny to me because again, we're very yin and yang, but we have that in common.
Yeah.
Like I bob, you weave, but we both know how to get what we want, right?
Right.
And like I am just very in tune that the world is cruel. The world requires this little tap dance of, this sounds icky, but like almost manipulation, right? And I don't, manipulation's a bad
I'm
word.
going to become a real estate attorney
Yeah.
on my vision board.
Only if you take the Kim K bar.
I 100% believe I will do it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking tempt me with a good time.
I'm not tempting you for nothing because I know that's going to make my life hell watching you try to go through that. We don't have time to study for law school. Don't do it.
I don't know. It might have to happen.
Oh. But no, I think that it's very, and manipulation is a gross word, but it's for lack of a better word because it's Sunday morning. I'm not done my coffee yet. But manipulation in the sense of I'm aware that it's a stroke your back, I stroke mine, stroke your ego, whatever it may be. Like we always joke, like if there's anything I can handle, it's a room of men. Like I got you.
Right.
Like they're very simple creatures. Okay. But it's very much like I don't take no shit. I do no harm. I take no shit. Right. And just being aware of that. So like if I know I want XYZ, I'm going to do XYZ to put myself in maybe a room full of people like your leadership group. You might not have had that outlook on that list and this vision and the inspiration for this episode without being in that room of like-minded people that sparks that for you. So if putting myself in places like that is something that needs to get done, I'm going to do it. And I'm aware that it's a path forward and a bob and a weave.
Right.
But if you really have to be aware of what's going on because without a vision, you're drifting around and you're never going to end up anywhere. People don't become successful by accident. And that's a wrap. If you like what you heard, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And as always, you can listen on Apple, Spotify, and more. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube for video podcast. We'll see you next week.